As we work for a more affordable, equitable, accessible, sustainable, and healthy future, the people receiving the awards tonight embody these goals, and they're already working to make these goals a reality. We will begin with our Outstanding Impact Award presented by Governor Michael Dukakis. The governor has had an outstanding impact on affordable housing. Policies and programs that were developed under Governor Dukakis endure today and have made Massachusetts a leader in affordable housing development. Governor Dukakis, I turn it to you.
Great. I think I'm probably the oldest person in this event, in this presentation. I'll be 88 next week, if you can believe it. It's still going strong. I've seen a lot of history here, folks. When I was a kid in the town of Brookline, people of color could not live in the town of Brookline, with 3 exceptions. 2 janitors and their families who lived in basements and always voted for me because I was the only politician who found their apartments and knocked on their doors. And a world-renowned tenor who couldn't buy a house in Brookline, but who was fortunate enough to meet a family that said, yeah, we'll sell you. We'll sell you. And Roman Hayes was the other African-American who managed to buy a house in the town of Brookline. That was it. That was it. And I don't have to tell you how long and how hard it has been to try to get, even in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a sense of community which welcomes people regardless of who they are, where they come from, what color of their skin. And I commend everybody for all of the work that you're doing, that CHAPA is doing, that our awardees this evening are recognized for, in making this a state that welcomes people, that supports them, and it makes it a truly integrated society. It's been a long struggle, folks. I remember as a member of the Special Commission on Low-Income Housing when I was in the legislature, the notion that somehow we could mix income groups. What? That was at a time when public housing was a disaster and we were looking for some alternative. And my congratulations to our awardees this evening. And I want to say just a word or two about a very special one who happens to be next to me. Amy started with me when she was 25 and was in charge of the capital budget, but more importantly, the whole construction process as it evolved in state government. She was part of a remarkable team of people who really got this state moving on affordable housing. And it wasn't easy. But we had extremely talented people. I had a cabinet secretary who unfortunately is no longer with us, who somehow managed to persuade communities all over the state that they had to be supportive of fully integrated, affordable housing. And we've come a long way, no question about it, and we're still at it. But we need to keep working hard at this, folks. It's not easy. And nobody knows this better than Kitty and me. We bought our house in the town of Brookline in 1971 for $25,000, half of a brick duplex that had been built in 1875. $25,000. That half of a house that we're now and have been living in all these years is now assessed by the town of Brookline at $1.5 million. How can people afford this? And what are we going to do about it? And I think that's the challenge we face, folks, and it's so important. The governor was absolutely right. We're not going to be able to welcome people in. We're not going to be able to attract younger people in particular if they're paying or have to pay $1.5 million for half of a house. Those of us who've been around for a while are lucky. But this is an imperative. And my hat's off to our awardees tonight. And I want to just say a word or two about one of them who happens to be standing next to me. Amy is very special. She started with me when she was 20 years of age, and she's been doing great stuff ever since, and particularly in the housing field now. And I just want to say to you, my dear, that my hat's off. You're still at it. Keep working at it. And to all of you listening tonight, just remember that this is not easy. Yes, we're doing better. Yes, we're much more open to these kinds of housing developments than certainly we were back in my youth, the early days of my stay in the legislature. But the need is so great. And if we're going to continue to make this state a state that we're proud of, and that is open to all, and nobody knows that better than a son of immigrants who came here to this country in 1912 and 1913 and did remarkable things, but did so because people welcomed my dad and my mother. My father was 15, came over here, didn't speak the language, didn't have a nickel in his pocket. 12 years later, graduated from the Harvard Medical School. How did he do it? I have no idea. My mother was the first Greek young woman, came here when she was 9, who actually went away to college unescorted. It was unheard of at the time. You know, a Greek girl going to Bates College in Lewiston, Maine, graduating Phi Beta Kappa in 1925. So when you come out of that kind of tradition, background, you understand just how special this country is, this state is, and the work that we're currently doing. But that work, as the governor pointed out, continues every single day. In any event, am I proud of Amy? I'll say, is she still going at it all the time? I wish we had 1,000. We'd be doing even better stuff. But the thing I want to leave you with, and I think I've used up my 4 minutes, is that this effort works or will work because good people, all of you, organizations like Chapman, people that care deeply about this, are at it all the time. And that, I think, is one of the reasons why Amy has been just so successful. So my congratulations, my dear.
Thank you.
And you deserve this award richly. And I expect that you're going to continue to do great things and also encourage others to do the same. You've always done that. And that's been very important. So hats off to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. You know, it doesn't matter when I'm watching you pick up trash off the street or riding the MBTA or running to you in the pharmacy or here, you never fail to inspire me and make me always want to do my best and recommit. You know, thank you. And there is no greater honor than being recognized by one's peers. And there really are no group of peers as distinguished and effective as the people that CHAPA gathers. I am humbled, I'm grateful, and almost speechless, but almost. My appreciation for everyone here is deep because the mission we share that every person in the Commonwealth should by right live in safe, secure housing where they want to live is so profoundly correct. CHAP has always been the big tent where people from all over all corners of the affordable housing world come together to analyze, hash out ideas, air different approaches, and ultimately come together to advocate and realize ambitious and socially just goals. And you know, in an increasingly polarized world where minor differences create major chasms, CHAPA is the model for civility, for recognizing common ground at every turn. So I feel very lucky to have been on the CHAPA board and be president during Rachel Heller, our fabulous leader's term. You know, I'm so lucky to have begun my career in the Dukakis administration and had a chance to observe up close and personal political leadership that is 100% motivated by social good. Because to learn, to believe in government and understand how much good government can do, because at the end of the day, government is the only institution that can redistribute resources and create opportunity and create justice. Governor Dukakis inspired us with his clarity about why we serve and how working across silos and disciplines was the way to bring better, more durable solutions. He drew to state government creative, committed, energetic folks, and he challenged us always to look broadly, work collaboratively, and care deeply about the people who need us. So this was a fundamental, foundational element of my career. I was so lucky to be at MIT right before the state and to encounter Tani Lee, Fred Salvucci, and Lang Keys, who all joined the administration and invited me to be part of it and their spectacular work. And while I was at MIT, I learned to approach the profession in a way that's inclusive, collaborative, and always respectful. And then as the town of Brookline's first economic development director, I was able to broaden that charge to include affordable housing preservation and development because of a board of selectmen and town administrator who were phenomenal leaders. And I appreciate that so much. I'm lucky to have worked in public housing, Cambridge Housing Authority, Boston Housing Authority, and DHCD, understanding from deep within my soul the very special treasure public housing is. I was fortunate to be at Cambridge after they had become one of the premier housing authorities in the country, and to be at the BHA when the National Hope 6 program began. Wow, that was so cool. And to be doing it in a city where the depths of our nonprofits allowed us to prepare the #1 application in the country by virtue of the resources and partnerships we were able to bring to the table. And I was lucky to be at DHCD at a time we were finally reinvesting for the first time since the Dukakis administration in our state public housing portfolio. And those new resources allowed me to bring real talent to work on state public housing. And of course, I got to work with all the divisions of DHCD while I was there, which really is a model of excellence throughout. And now to be at Two Life Communities and able to advance an agenda that not only provides affordable, essential housing for our seniors, it recognizes the role our elders can play in building a just and a good society. Maybe that's beyond lucky. You know, the Torah teaches us that the most important commandment in the whole Bible is honor thy mother and father. Now we see this as a collective enterprise. So to work on that, to make that true, it's sublime. I stand on the impressive shoulders of Ellen Feingold, who built Two Life and CHAPA, and I am so fortunate to have a committed, energetic, engaged, and luminous team. Often many of you have asked me, how did you get so many great people all at the same time? I think the answer is simple. Our mission is sacred. Affordable housing feels filled with great people, and one fabulous person attracts another. And so since I inherited a great team, I work for a phenomenal board who really thinks about our mission expansively. We've attracted philanthropists who expand and broaden what we do every day. From there, it snowballs. So as I end, I also want to appreciate the luck of being born to my parents of blessed memory and to acknowledge that position of privilege I was born into because of them. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And as much as this is a time for thank yous, as the governors, both governors just said, it is absolutely time to commit all of us to the work ahead. ARPA is an incredible opportunity to bring a huge amount of resources to our quest. I'm proud to be honored alongside of Governor Baker tonight, who is proposing $1 billion in ARPA funds for affordable housing, of course, with the Housing Choice Bill, which makes it possible to build that housing. Exemplary proposals, and I implore all of us to work together for that. So let me conclude with just a few quick thank yous to the CHAPA board, the CHAPA staff, and members for this amazing honor. To Governor Dukakis for setting a standard for me to which I could aspire for my whole career, and I still aspire, and for presenting this award. For the teams I got to work with at all my prior jobs who taught me lifelong lessons that I retain. To the amazing team at Two Life who astound me every day with all the things you do. And to my friends and family who seem willing to be endlessly supporting and loving of me. And I thank you all so much. I thank you for this award and for being part of CHAPA.
Thank you, Governor Dukakis and Amy. Amy, so many thanks to you. You are simply phenomenal and generous and smart and hardworking and all of the things that we need to make this world a better place. Thank you for all of your support as a CHAPA board member, a chair of our Policy Leadership Council, and as president.